Here we are, guys, and that's the place. Pretty epic. We're gonna test this anamorphic lens right here. It's an amazing place. We also have, well, it's an amazing day actually. We have a river down here, so it's gonna be very cinematic. Let's go up there. Maybe we can walk up there and see how it goes. By the way, if you notice my puffy jacket, I look like one of those guys from the Goonies from the 80s, which I love. I'm an 80s guy. Thumb up. So let's talk about anamorphic lenses or anamorphic format. Back in time in the cinema, they were filming on 35mm film with spherical lenses, which are the lenses we usually see, like the one I'm filming right now on my GoPro. But then when they wanted to film wider format, they were wasting a lot of the film, the actual film, because there were black bars on top at the bottom of the image, simply because the aspect ratio of these images was different compared to the usual aspect ratio they were using at the time. So there was a lot of waste of film. What they invented was anamorphic lenses. Basically, an anamorphic lens squeezes the image, making it look a bit taller than what it is. And once again, at the beginning, that was a way not to waste the film, the frame of the film. What they used to do in post-production was to use a different lens to de-squeeze this image and turn it back to its original aspect ratio. In a few words, with these lenses, we can achieve a wider field of view compared to the spherical lenses. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to film with an anamorphic lens, which is going to squeeze our footage, and we're going to de-squeeze it in post-production during the video editing process. These lenses enhance the flares of the lights, creating a very long flare usually, and there's a different depth of field in the images as well. I'm not sure if we're going to see these differences with this particular lens. We're going to test it together. And first of all, I'm going to thank you FREEEWELL to send me this lens for free to test out. Bear in mind, it's not an official review, so I can say whatever I want. If I don't like the lens or there's something wrong with it, I'm just going to share with you. So I try to be as honest as I can to help you out in deciding if you want or need this lens. I'm walking to the top of this fortress. This is called Il Castello della Roccia, the Castle of the Rock. It's a castle from the 11th century. As I mentioned before, pretty epic. I can't wait to put my DJI Mavic Air 2 in the air. First lesson of this video, explore your surroundings. I lived here 23 years of my life. I never visited this spectacular place. So definitely, guys, we need to enjoy what we have a bit more in life, because we usually want to travel, we're gonna go far, when we actually have amazing places just a few hundred meters from our places. Wow. Here we are on top of the hill. We can't go further, I'm afraid, because the castle is closed today, but hey, we don't mind because we want to fly the drone. First of all, let's unbox the anamorphic lens. It's now time to unbox the lens and also to mention the price of this lens, which you can find on Amazon for $39.99 US. It comes in this tiny box, nice and clean as we like it. Then when you open this up, you find a black box with 4 holes for 4 different filters or lenses. Of course, the lens is occupying one of the holes, and we've got some spare space for the other filters if we want to put other filters in the box, in the same box. And then also the filter comes with this tiny envelope with some stickers. You've got a wipe to clean the lens and the instructions, of course. Let's talk about mounting the lens on the drone. Very simple. Usually the drone comes with a filter, UV filter, a clear filter. What you want to do is to hold your gimbal steady and very sturdy so you're not going to break it. And then you're going to twist the filter or the lens you have on your drone. You take the lens off and you will notice 4 holes around your lens. So the filter or the lens is gonna have 4 different pins around the lens. In this case, we have the anamorphic lens with the 4 pins. You just wanna insert the pins in the holes here, and this time spin clockwise. And you will hear a click, and now your lens is mounted safely on the drone. It's now time to fly the drone in the air, and as you might see, we're gonna change the settings of the drone, of the filming. So one of the downsides of having this lens is that you can't mount ND filters and anamorphic lenses at the same time, which means also you wanna compromise the shutter speed, ISO, and motion blur of your image. So what I've done here, I was recording in 4K 60 frames per second to have the maximum resolution, the maximum quality of the image. The shutter speed was double my frame rate, which was 120th of a second. But as you can see, the image was very bright. I lowered the ISO to the minimum, which was 100, but still the image was too bright. And in this case, you want to compromise the shutter speed and the motion blur. And to have a properly exposed image, I had to push the shutter speed to 1/1000th of a second. So after filming the whole intro you've seen at the beginning of the video, I'm here now and test the footage in post-production during the video editing process. First of all, we want to know that the lens has a squeeze factor of 1.15, which means the image is squeezed 115% basically vertically. So what we want to do in post-production is just to reverse that process and de-squeeze the image 115%. And you can do this simply in Premiere Pro by going to your image in the effect control panel. In the scale, you want to untick uniform scale because we need to only change the horizontal scale of the image basically. And you want to scale it to 115%. That's the width scale. So that was our original image, 100%. And we need to de-squeeze the image basically 115%. And that's how it's going to look like. So what you're seeing right now, this frame is not an Ultra HD frame anymore, which was the resolution filmed in the drone, but I had to change the sequence settings from Ultra HD, which is 3840 pixels by 2160. I had to change the horizontal resolution to 4416 pixels. So that's very simple math. If you go online and search for a percentage calculator, you're just gonna input your data, your numbers here. So 115% of 3840 is 4416. And that's gonna be my new resolution of my sequence of my frame. A simple way to also see if your image is reflecting the right aspect ratio is to film something round, something spherical like this object. In this case, in post-production, you can actually reproduce a spherical proportion again. So it's just a reference for you to understand if you de-squeezed the object, the image, properly. Now, I filmed a couple of images also indoors right here to show you the differences I've noticed with and without the lens. And first of all, we noticed the field of view. The one on the right-hand side here is the one filmed with the anamorphic lens. The one on the left is without the lens, with the normal lens of the DJI Mavic Air 2. We definitely notice more image inside the frame. As you can see here, I've got this roof, which I don't have in the image on the left. And also here I've got some chimneys, which I don't have in with the original lens of the drone. I didn't notice any change of tone and temperature of the image, which is good. Now I think we need to zoom into the images to notice important features of the lens. First of all is the blurriness. When we put the anamorphic lens on, nothing is really on focus. That's what I noticed, and you can see here from the image. Now the normal lens of the drone will pick up the focus from 50 centimeters away from the lens onwards, so to infinite. And as you can see in this image taken with the normal lens of the drone, actually we have a focused background, while in the one with an anamorphic lens, nothing is really on focus. So that's another downside for me. Also, I noticed the noise becomes a bit bigger. It kind of fades and blurs out as well. So I don't really like the look of it, to be honest. And when I filmed the castle on the rock, I could really see, it seemed like the image was doubled. So, you know, when you have double vision, that's the effect you get. So you don't have a proper focused image. And to be honest, I would prefer to have a clear and crispy image rather than a wider field of view, in my opinion. You can also notice here, this tower, the electric tower, is not on focus, while in the one on the left-hand side with the normal lens of the DJI is on focus. So you can see these differences. And for these reasons, actually, I'm not sure if I would buy an anamorphic lens for my drone. I would definitely invest the money for variable ND filters, and you can find the Freewell ND filters in the description tab. They are really good. And if you haven't checked my review video, go and check it out, because I definitely recommend those. But yeah, I would invest that money for filters and keep a natural motion blur rather than having a not very focused image and buy the anamorphic lens. Unless you really like the flares from the lights, I don't think you really need an anamorphic lens for your drone. You can achieve the same results just moving the drone a bit further away, I guess, and that's simple as that. But anyway, I'm gonna leave you a link in the description tab for you to check the lens. Guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up, and I think I covered more or less everything. If you have anything you want to ask, please leave a comment down here below. I thank you for watching. Please consider to subscribe as well, because I do a lot of camera gear review, tutorials, video editing tutorials, and you can check my Adobe Premiere Pro course actually down here in the description. Once again, I hope to see you in the next video. God bless you. Thanks for watching.